Welcome to Your Career. I'm your host and resident career expert, Todd Bermont. We are coming to you from beautiful downtown Conroe, Texas on the Lone Star Community Radio Station, FM 104.5 and 106.1, irlonestar.com. Each week on this program, we'll be discussing key topics to empower you to succeed in the job search in your career. In addition, we'll share with you the latest career-related news and jobs data you can use to land a new job and make more money. I'm especially excited to be here today as this is our inaugural program. Our goal with Your Career is to share with you insider secrets and tips you can use whether you're looking for a new job or just want to make more money on an existing one. While I'm an expert on careers and the job search, given this is my first radio program, I have to admit I'm a little bit nervous and excited at the same time. On today's program, we're going to be discussing a topic I'm very passionate about, and that's how to overcome job loss. I'm honored today to have a guest on our program from Workforce Solutions. Hilda Robles It is amazing all the incredible services and opportunities that are available from Workforce Solutions, and we'll be asking Hilda all about them. But first, you may be wondering, who is this guy and why is he doing this program? As I mentioned, my name is Todd Bermont, and I'm the author of 10 Insider Secrets to a Winning Job Search. I'm also the author of the book Cognitive Selling. In addition, I'm the founder of TCC Learning out of League City, Texas. I'm proud to say that we've created what I humbly believe is the world's greatest online curriculum, empowering job seekers to succeed in landing their ideal job. This program is called the Careers College, and it's currently available online at tcclearning.com. That's tcclearning.com. And I'm also excited to say that currently over 100,000 students in colleges throughout Texas have access to this program. In addition, I am also an adjunct instructor at College of the Mainland. There I teach the continuing education course, Job Search and Employment Skills. During last month's class, 2 students landed a job in less than 3 weeks, and over half the class landed second interviews during that time frame as well. In addition, I teach the online course 12 Steps to a Successful Job Search that's currently being offered through over 2,000 colleges across the nation. In all, I've empowered over 25,000 people to successfully navigate the job search to land the ideal job. The knowledge and experiences that I'll be sharing with you on this program, Your Career with Todd Bermont, come from my over 30 years of experience in the high technology, critical power infrastructure, data center, and software as a service industries. I've hired scores of people throughout my career and reviewed literally thousands of resumes. I've also interviewed hundreds and hundreds of candidates. Throughout my career, I've worked for companies such as NCR, IBM, American Power Conversion, and most recently, before starting my own business, I was National Sales Manager for the UPS division of Toshiba. I've held high-level sales management positions responsible for teams generating over $100 million in annual sales. Each week, we'll be discussing on this program knowledge and experience from the real world. We're here to help you succeed. So why am I doing this program? Well, at the end of the day, I'm on a mission to positively impact people's lives. I want to know that I made a difference. I don't know how many of you in this listening audience listen to motivational speakers. One of my favorites over the years has been Tony Robbins. And several years ago, I was listening to a program of Tony's. And he really had a profound thought in the program. And it was all about motivating you to achieve your life goals and to really stretch your life goals to have a life of joy and passion. And he talked about the concept of imagining fast-forwarding your life to your own funeral, and that you're hovering over the memorial service, looking down at yourself and hearing folks giving a eulogy on your life. What would you want people to be saying during that memorial service? I tell you, ever since that profound thought, it really had a major impact on my life. It made me think, there's got to be more out there than just chasing a number on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis. And which leads me to a story I'd like to share with you that you don't know about me, and that's my mother, Margot Bermont. Back in 1999, Unfortunately, my mom passed away at a young age of 58 years old from a terrible disease called scleroderma. But this story has a happy ending, though. See, even though my mother never lived to retirement, each day she lived with joy and with passion. See, somehow, not only was my mom an incredible mother, an incredible mentor, and just an incredible friend, but somehow while raising us kids, she managed to work 2 jobs at the same time. But both those jobs she absolutely loved. She was a teacher and she was a travel agent. She loved teaching because she could have an impact on people's lives. And she absolutely loved being a travel agent because she loved traveling the world, and she got to go on incredible trips at ridiculously low prices being a travel agent. And she really got such a thrill out of helping people plan their dream vacations as well. So you see, my mom each day was a joy to her. And even though the last 12, 13 years she lived in a lot of pain with her disease, she still got such incredible joy and passion out of life. And how many of you in this audience are thinking, gosh, I hate Mondays. I can't stand my job. But I'll just put up with it for the next 5, 10 years until I get to retirement, and then I'll enjoy life. Well, unfortunately, my mom never lived to retirement. And you know what? My wife's mother, unfortunately, never lived to retirement either. So tomorrow is never guaranteed. And one of the reasons why I'm doing this program is I want to share with people secrets and ways that you can land a job to where you can absolutely look forward to Mondays and look forward to every day of the week. When I look back at my career, sure, I've won several sales and management awards and sold multi-million-dollar deals. However, by far the most gratifying aspects of my career have been when I've been a part of helping somebody land a new job. I'll never forget, it was Christmas morning, December 2014. And pretty early in the morning I got a text. And this text was from Bobby. And see, Bobby was a gentleman who I had met just a few months earlier in my role as National Sales Manager at Toshiba. And he was one of those people that I was able to build an instant bond with. You know, have you ever met those people where you feel an instant connection? And Bobby was one of those people. And literally about 3 weeks after I met Bobby, he lost his job. He got let go after just incredible accomplishments. And I really took it personally, even though I had just met Bobby. And so I worked with Bobby, and we'll share with you some of the stories from working with Bobby over future programs. But suffice it to say, he wound up getting a great new job. And he wound up being able to move to Carolinas, being near his son, who drives race cars for a living. And on Christmas morning, he sent me a text saying, Todd, I just want to let you know that my family and I were thinking about you today and the impact that you had on your life. So with that, I'd like to say you are listening to Your Career with Todd Bermont, and we will be right back after these important messages.
I know you know this already, but most of the shows on Lone Star Community Radio are available in podcast format. If you want to keep up with the latest shows, just subscribe to our YouTube channel, Lone Star Community Radio, and our website at irlonestar.com. You can even follow us on SoundCloud and Twitter to see the latest posts from Lone Star Community Radio. Can't find a show? Then just search for it on irlonestar.com in the search bar to the top right of every page. Or just contact us on irlonestar.com/contact us with your questions, demands, sponsorships, anything. Lone Star Community Radio is your Montgomery County community radio station.
Welcome back to Your Career. I'm your host and resident career expert, Todd Bermont. Each week on Your Career, we'll be sharing with you valuable information you can use to further your career and land the ideal job. If you've ever been frustrated with the job search or hated Mondays, this is the program for you. Today's program is about a topic I'm very passionate about, and that's overcoming job loss. Right now, as of the report last Friday, there are 94 million people in the United States that are of working age that are currently not working. The labor force participation rate is near the worst it's ever been since 1977. It's stuck at 62.8%. But before diving in, I'd like to share with you what you don't know about me and partially why I'm doing this. If you don't have a pen and paper, now's a good time to get some so you can capture notes that we're going to be talking about. Because what I'd like to share with you is, first of all, a personal story about my own job loss experience and how I overcame that. And I'm going to give you 7 tips that you can use that you can immediately apply if you've been currently laid off. So first of all, the story about me. I'd like to go back to the year 2006. And we just had twin baby girls, Haley and Stephanie. And life was going really good. I'd never been a father before, and here we are blessed with twins. And although sometimes they didn't sleep through the night very much, and we didn't get a lot of sleep, but just an incredible blessing. And everything was going good in that year. In fact, I got promoted twice and got 2 raises within 1 year working for this private company out of Fairfax, Virginia, and I was working remotely out of Chicago with a national position. And but towards the end of 2006, the owner of the company decided he wanted to sell it. So he brought in a president from the outside. And almost from the get-go, it was just a really rocky relationship. He clearly did not like me, and the feelings were kind of mutual. I didn't care much for him as well. And come the first Friday in March of 2007, so this is literally just a little over 3 months after I got my second promotion in 1 year with the company, on Friday afternoon they marched me into my boss's office, and they let me know that they were eliminating my position. And I felt such a range of emotions. I didn't know whether to jump for joy out of relief, because towards the end, working at that job was just so miserable that every time I flew into Fairfax and walked into that office, I would literally be physically shaking that I'd be so stressed out. I just had all sorts of emotions. And then on the plane ride flying back, I'm thinking, wow, here I have 18-month-old twin girls. My wife is a stay-at-home mom. How am I going to support these kids? And how am I going to keep a roof over my head? And so it was just a wide range of emotions that I experienced. But the way that I overcame that, it's interesting, because I realized that I experienced a lot of the same emotions in losing the job that I did when I lost my mother. Because with my mom's terrible disease, it was a range of emotions too. We didn't know to kind of be relieved that she finally passed, because she'd no longer be in pain. But obviously there was the incredible sorrow that we felt with her passing, and just the joy of her life, and the fact that she was an incredible mother. So it was just a range of emotions there. And I found that I really had a similar range of emotions when I lost that job for the first time. And so I employed the techniques that I used to overcome the loss of my mother, to overcome the loss of my job. And I'm excited to report to you that I landed a new job in less than 30 days after losing that job. So I want to share with you some of the things. There's 7 things that I did that I'd like I'd like you to write down because I feel it's important. First of all, understand that it's natural to feel a wide range of emotions. It's okay to go through a grieving process when you lose a job. That's natural. But one of the things that I would suggest that you do is that you journal your thoughts. When my mom passed away years ago, I had a favorite coffee shop, the Third Coast in Chicago, that I used to love going to. And I took out a piece of paper and down the middle of the page, I drew a line. And I put the date and time of my mom's passing on top of that line. And then on the left side, I put all the things that I wasn't happy about in my life. And on the right side, how I was going to fix it and goals for how I wanted to improve my life. You see, I wanted to use the passing of my mother as a positive catalyst. I didn't want her life to be lost in vain. So when I lost the job, I did the same thing. I took a sheet of paper, went to the same coffee shop, and down the center of the page, I drew that line and I put the date and time that I got let go from the job. And on the left side, I put all the things that I wasn't happy about on the job and with the boss and with the company and with my life at the time. And on the right, I listed out how I was going to fix it and how I was going to overcome it. And a lot of times in life, it's not our circumstances that can beat us down, but it's how we can relate to those circumstances. And so if when you lose your job, if you can take the approach that, you know what, this was meant to be, and it's an opportunity for a fresh start, a new beginning. That's my first word of advice for you. The second piece of advice is to know that everything happens for a reason. Now, I'm not going to profess to be a really religious person. I don't think I've ever been accused of that in my life. But at the end of the day, I do believe that there's a creator, and I do believe that there's a life plan for each and every one of us. Sometimes I think it'd be great if we knew that life plan. But then other times, if we saw that life, I think if we saw that life plan, it might stress us out so much that we might not live out our days to be able to live that life plan. And but it's important to believe that everything does happen for a reason. So that way, when you take that approach and when you take that philosophy, you can say to yourself, it's okay that I lost this job. It was meant to be. The timing may not feel right at the moment. I may not understand at the moment why I'm going through what I'm going through. But at the end of the day, that there's a better opportunity out there for me. So point number 3 that I'd like to share with you is to maintain the faith that things will work out. It's interesting. I've tried skiing a couple times, and I've tried golf a couple times. And I hated both experiences. The skiing, I would get up to the top of the hill, and what are the thoughts going through my head? Oh, you're going to wipe out. You're going to crash. And what would happen? I would go tumbling down that mountain and wipe out and crash and say to myself, you know what, about the only fun thing about this is having the hot chocolate afterwards. And then with golf, it's the same thing. I'd be golfing, and I'll be on a hole with a lot of water in front of me and think to myself, how am I going to get that ball over this water? And that ball is going to land in the water. And sure enough, the ball lands in the water. And at the end of the day, it's your thoughts that really actualize your true experiences. And the reason I tell you these stories is that it's important to maintain the faith that this is going to work out and that you are going to land a great job and that you're going to land it quickly, sooner rather than later. If you're listening to this program and you've been unemployed for the last year and just frustrated and down on your luck, let's change that approach. Let's change that visualization. And let's change that belief set and say to ourselves, you know what? Things are turning around. We are going to land a great new job in a very short period of time. In fact, we're on our way right now to landing that great new job. So point number 3 is maintain the faith that things will work out. Now, point number 4 is place yourself in the right frame of mind. It's easy to fall into a trap of commiserating with other people who are unemployed, commiserating with people that are down on the economy or down on the country or just down in general. It's easy to fall into that trap when you're in the job search process. And it's so important instead to really focus on the positive. It's so important to put yourself in a good frame of mind, to listen to positive podcasts, to surround yourself with positive, successful, and upbeat people. When you do that, it's going to lift up your spirits. One of the wonderful things about the internet today is there's so many free podcasts out there that are just so incredibly motivational. One of my favorite, and it's not even, I'm not even a member of the same religion, but Joel Osteen has a podcast, a weekly podcast that's free out on iTunes. And each week, he just has incredibly motivational messages. And it doesn't really matter what religion you are. At the end of the day, the messages, they really resonate. And you can't help but feel positive and enthused and excited after each one of those podcasts. And so I highly suggest that you find what are the right podcasts for you. There's a weekly podcast called The Daily Boost. That's also a wonderful free 9-minute podcast. So that, yeah, at the end of the day, the key is to repeat positive affirmations for yourself, to say messages of gratitude, to be thankful for what you do have in life, and not focus on what you don't. And that'll really help you in your job search process. The 5th point I'd like to make is after you've lost your job, take a little time off, rejuvenate yourself. Do some of the things that you've been wanting to do. I know when I lost that job back in 2007, we had so many things that had piled up in the house, clutter everywhere with the twin girls and these little baby clothes that no longer fit them and everything. So I used that initial time to clean out the clutter, and we had a garage sale, and I think we made over $1,000 on that particular garage sale, but it really felt good just cleaning out the clutter and getting something accomplished. Maybe you want to spend more time with your children. Maybe you've been wanting to go to the museum forever. Just spend a day down at the beach in Galveston. Whatever it might be, take a little time off. Put yourself in a positive frame of mind and do a few things that you've wanted to do. Point 6 is to embrace the fact that you will succeed. At the end of the day, our words become our actuality. You are a great person. There's only one of you in the entire world. Yeah, they've started cloning sheep in some places of the world, I understand, but at the end of the day, right now, until they've cloned humans, there's only one of you in this world. There's only one person with your skill set. There's only one person with your capabilities, with your drive, with your passion. And any employer ought to be thrilled and delighted to have you as a part of their team. So embrace the fact that you will succeed. Point 7 is attend to your health and well-being. Focus on what you can control and try not to focus on those things that you can't. Maybe you put on a few pounds over the years and you'd like to focus on losing 5-10 pounds. That's something that's within your control. That can immediately help your well-being. Maybe you've been working so many hours on the job that you haven't been able to get to the gym like you used to, or you haven't been able to run around the block like you used to. Invest a little time in yourself. Look after your well-being. Eat healthier. And try to limit the consumption, and this is the pot calling the kettle black here, but as I do like an evening scotch every once in a while. But try to limit the consumption of alcohol as well, because that can certainly have a depressive aspect as well. So at the end of the day, attend to your health and well-being and focus on what you can control. So with those 7 keys to success in overcoming job loss, I'd like to say that you are listening to Your Career with Todd Bermont. Stay tuned, because coming up, we'll be speaking with our guest, Hilda Robles, to discuss workforce solutions. We'll be right back after these important messages.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station, and we are looking for talk show hosts and volunteer DJs for our music shows. Are you interested in having your own talk show on Lone Star, or have you always wanted to live out your dreams of being a music DJ? With the addition of Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 and video aspects of our talk shows, we are needing people to grow with us. If you or someone you know might be interested, please contact us online at irlonestar.com/contact us, or call the station at 936-647-5747 for more information.
Welcome back to Your Career. I'm your host and resident career expert, Todd Bermont. Each week on Your Career, we'll be sharing valuable information you can use to further your career and land the ideal job. This week's topic is one that I'm very passionate about, and that's overcoming job loss. The good news is that less people are losing their jobs each week. However, in Texas, just the current jobless report, or the weekly unemployment report that comes out on Thursday mornings, the most recent report showed that in Texas, in the last week alone, 15,765 people lost their jobs last week alone. So while that number is an improved number, think about that. That's as many fans as sometimes will attend a Houston Astros game. And that many people lost their jobs in Texas. So, and that brings me to our next guest, because a lot of people don't know what should they do when they lose a job. Some people are just told, well, simply just go online. The state of Texas has a website, and apply for unemployment benefits, and go to workintexas.com, and that's it. And a lot of people aren't aware of, until very recently, I wasn't aware of the incredible services that are offered by the Texas Workforce Solutions. And that brings me to our next guest, Hilda Robles. Hilda Robles is the Assistant Director of Workforce Services at Workforce Solutions. She oversees development and management of several Workforce Solutions career offices in the Gulf Coast region, and also serves as an on-site mentor to managers and supervisors. Hilda is a certified workforce specialist and has been with Workforce Solutions for more than 8 years. So, Hilda, first of all, I'd like to say welcome, and I'm really excited to have you here today. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you for inviting me today, Todd.
Well, it's a true honor to have you here. And I was wondering, for our listeners, especially those folks that have recently lost their jobs that may not be aware of the wonderful services that you folks offer, can you provide our listeners with an overview of Workforce Solutions and some of the services that you provide?
Sure. So at Workforce Solutions, we're here to help our employers with their workforce needs and with people build careers. We have 25 career offices and 4 4 information centers in our 13 county Houston Galveston region. Just to give you an idea of, I know we're in Conroe today, but just to give you an idea of where all of our career offices are, we have one as far north as Huntsville, over west to Columbus, as far south as Texas City, and then back over to Baytown. So we're all over this area, and basically we're here to help people get a job, keep a job, or get a better job. As far as our services, we offer various services at our local career offices. We offer job matching. You mentioned our database earlier, workintexas.com. It is the largest database in the state of Texas, where our job seekers could register and match themselves to available postings in the system. Employers looking for, individuals that looking for the specific skill set. We also, in our career offices, we offer job fairs, hiring events. We have workshops that are taught by certified workforce professionals, and in all of the offices they vary. But in Conroe, we offer them at least once a week, and the workshops are interview techniques, resume assistance, networking, and we even have a workshop where we offer customers an opportunity to navigate through our website. Because for those of us that aren't too familiar with it, we provide labor market information, and we also help customers with finding financial aid to get a job or get a better job. The other resource that we have available is we have a blog force. And it's updated weekly. It is available online, blogforce.wrksolutions.com, and we have certified workforce professionals that post a blog there weekly, and it's either for employers and career advice for all customers who are looking for work. We also, in our career office, offer auxiliary aids such as JAWS and Magic, software for people with vision impairments, a trackball mouse, headphones, large print materials, hearing aid, compatible phones with voice control. And the most recent update is we are actually in the process of installing Sorensen InTouch video phones in all of our career offices for that which will allow people who are deaf or hard of hearing to use a webcam to interact sign language interpreter.
Oh, wow.
And make calls to people who are hearing. So we should have that in all of our offices by October 1st, which is something that we have never had before. So we're excited about that.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And the other thing, besides all that, we also have career counselors in the offices. We have employment counselors that will help you with looking up job postings and trying to match you up to available positions in the system. And we have resource rooms there. We have computers, faxes, printers, typing tests, all kinds of different resources that are available in the career offices for anyone to use if you walk in. You don't necessarily have to meet with anyone. You just come in and use the services.
Really? So maybe somebody has worked in a plant for the last 15, 20 years, and maybe they don't have a computer at home. Maybe they just have a cell phone. They can actually come into one of your offices and use your computers to search for jobs,
Yes.
Can they create their resumes as well on your computers and print out copies, or can they do those types of things as well?
Yes, they can. We have computers available with resume writing software that if a customer needs to build a resume from scratch, you can use that. Now, if they would like to register with our website, which is workintexas.com, that also has a feature where you would plug in all of your previous work experience, occupations that you're interested in, and it will actually build a resume for you that you can print at any time from anywhere. But
really?
Yes. But in the career office, we also have resource room specialists that are available on the floor. So if you need help with, hey, how do I do this? How do I attach this resume? Or how do I update this? Or is this font the correct font? They're there to help you do that, and it's all free. You don't have to make an appointment. You don't need to register with us. If you're just coming in to update a resume and you've got an interview at 3 p.m., Workforce Solutions, you can come in and do it for free, and we have people there to help you.
And they'll give you advice on your resumes as
yes,
well?
They will.
So a person doesn't necessarily have to, because I know you see a lot of these resume services out there that advertise that, for $250 or $300, they'll create a resume for you. So what you're saying is somebody can actually come into Workforce Solutions and create a resume on your computers and get advice from counselors, so that way they don't have to invest
Yes.
that kind of money.
Yes, at a time where they probably, if you don't want to have to spend the $250, $300 to pay someone to help you create a resume, yes, we have staff there and the resources available for them to do that for free.
That's outstanding. Now, I have to ask a question, all right? I hope I won't be too offensive here. But, anytime you think of a government agency, like I think of the post office or something like that, to where, or the DMV, where sometimes you may wait in line for hours on end and stuff like that. How much time should people expect to have to wait before they can hop on a computer, or before they could meet with an advisor and that kind of thing?
As far as walking into the office to sit down and use a computer, our staff do a really good job walking around, not monitoring, but providing assistance to customers that come in. So they do a pretty good job of providing them what they need so that they can go on to the next thing, and there's a spot available for another customer. So there really isn't much of a wait time. If you need to speak to a staff member there, whether it's an employment counselor or personal service representative, it is come as you. It's first come, first serve. But there, in many of our offices, there is not quite. Excuse me.
That's okay.
There's not much of a wait time in that.
That's great.
Short time, maybe between 10 to anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes wait time.
Well, it's not bad at all, especially when you consider the amount of quality service that you can get. I can only imagine that there's a lot of people out there that, maybe they've been collecting unemployment for the last 2-3 months and have been struggling and just had nobody to talk to and didn't know that these services were out there. I'd like to learn more about these workshops. If you could kind of go in a little more detail on some of the topics of the workshops and the times of day that they're typically offered at, or if they're at different times or whatever. I mean, you don't certainly have to say a specific schedule, but I'm just curious, are they like an hour long? Are they during the day, or are they evenings, that kind of thing, in the types of topics?
It varies. We offer them, they're usually anywhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours and a half long, depending on the topic. We have them available usually either in the morning part of the day between 10 and right before lunchtime, or after lunchtime between 1:30 and 2:30, 1:30 and 3 o'clock. So we definitely don't want to keep, we have job seekers that are looking to apply for jobs and trying to schedule interviews. And so we try to have them scheduled during those times. And then again, like with the workshops that we offer, like the resume assistance, most of them are taught by, they are all taught by our workforce certified professionals, which are usually staff there that are working day in and day out. They provide tips. They give scenarios. I know in the resume class, you actually can leave with kind of like a mock resume, an idea of what you're going to do, and you can go right out into the resource room and start working on it. As far as they also provide little booklets so that you can take home with you and you can kind of refer back to your notes. But they're not very long. They're only about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
And there's no fee to
No.
attend these workshops?
No fee at all. And they change every office provides different types of workshops. I believe we have anywhere between 5 to 12 different types. And they try to change them week in and week out. So they're at least offered twice a week.
That's outstanding.
In most offices.
Now, let me ask a question about the long-term unemployed. So let's say somebody has been out of a job for a while and their benefits have been exhausted. Are they still able to come into Workforce Solutions and use your services, or is it limited strictly to people that are currently on unemployment? If you could elaborate on that, that'd be great.
If you are looking for a job, or you're looking for career advancement, or you're just you have a job and you're trying to get a better job, you lost your job and you're trying to find a new job, it doesn't matter. If job search is your thing, you're trying to find a career, we're here available to everyone. It doesn't matter whether you're on employment, not on unemployment, we're here.
Oh, that's really good to know. So even if you have a job, but you're one of those people that just absolutely hates Mondays and would like to actually be able to enjoy watching the football game on Sunday without getting stressed out that tomorrow's Monday, that you could actually come in and utilize the services at Workforce Solutions as well.
Yes, we have many customers that come into the office and are currently they currently have employment, but it's not as much as they would like to be earning, or it's not quite the schedule that they would want to be working, or maybe they went to school for a specific trade and they just had to find a job temporarily until they found the one that they're actually certified to work in, and so they come into our offices all the time and just trying to find a better job, and that's we're there to help them find that.
Outstanding. Now, you had mentioned something about job matching.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is that?
So our employment counselors in the offices, they use our job search database, which is workintexas.com. And in there, when a customer creates a profile, you have the option to select so many occupations, because not everyone has that one job. That you have so many different skills that can apply to so many different occupations. And so it gives the system will allow you to plug in different types of occupations and your previous work history, along with how many years that you were in each one of those occupations. And so our website can generate a pool of jobs that you could potentially match for. And the employment counselors in the office, they can take a look at that and basically see if the posting that the individual the employer is looking for to meet their employment needs, to see if the customer actually, the skill set is just about right. And that's basically what I mean as far as job matching, that they go into the system to see if it's a quality referral, and they will provide the customer the details on the employment, or where to go and apply, what to do as far as that specific job.
Outstanding. So another question I have is, being a job search expert, I've reviewed thousands of resumes over the course of my career, and one of the things I've noticed on the resume is that you look at the resume and you can't tell what job the person's looking for based on their resume. And then when I ask them what job they're looking for, they say, well, I don't know, I just want a job. And in this competitive economy, now that we're in a global economy, every day people are going to be competing against folks that know exactly what they want to do for a living. Are there services or people that can help out with that individual that just is like, I know I have these skills, but I really don't know what I want to do? Are there any kind of assessments or tools or discussions that they can have at Workforce that can help them out in those areas?
We do. We have staff in the offices. We have personal service representatives that can go more in depth with a customer that isn't quite sure with what they want to do. They can either provide them assistance with either putting together a resume that kind of highlights their skill set and maybe help them figure out what they want to do with it. But as far as assessment tools, we have various resources available online. ONET, we have I can't name them off the top of my head. My apologies.
Oh, that's okay.
But there is an assessment that they can do, and the other option is if, let's say for example, we have a customer that has a lot of skills but hasn't quite been able to find employment in a specific trade, or maybe the occupation that they worked in before is no longer available, or they're having a really hard time trying to find employment in that field, then the personal service representative can help them to see what transferable skills can they use to maybe change into a different occupation. Is there is it maybe they need to return back to school and receive some upgraded skills training? So they try to do a reassessment and see what can they do to help.
This is really outstanding information, and actually I'm glad you mentioned the schooling, because after the break I'd like to ask you some other questions. I understand that there may be certain scholarships or grants that might be available through Workforce Solutions as well, and it would be great for our listeners to be able to learn about that. So you are currently listening to Your Career with Todd Bermont on Lone Star Community Radio. And that's 104.5 on your FM dial, 106.1 irlonestar.com. We're going to take a brief break, and when we come back, we will continue to discuss the wonderful services and opportunities available at Workforce Solutions.
Want to check out what it's like to be on the radio? Need credit for school? For an internship? Then contact Dick online at dick@irlonestar.com. Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station, and we are here to be part of the community.
Welcome back to Your Career. I'm your host and resident career expert, Todd Bermont. Each week on Your Career, we'll be sharing valuable information you can use to further your career and land the ideal job. Now, in talking with Hilda, she mentioned, the potential of going back to school, and I'm curious if you could elaborate. I understand that there's some workshops that are available, or scholarships rather, that are available through Workforce Solutions, and maybe some grants and aid. And I was wondering if you could briefly touch on that.
Okay, so if any of our customers are interested in career training, returning to school, beginning a new career, or continuing their education to advance their present career, I would highly recommend them coming into the career office. We have personal service representatives that can help determine what individuals want to study, how you want to pay for it, and where you might go for that assistance. And so we have various resources available, and we can help individuals with applying for federal student aid. There's Pell Grants that we can help an individual apply for. And then we also have online resources for other scholarships that are available. But then we can also assess an individual's needs to see if a Workforce Solutions scholarship would be appropriate. Now, our scholarship is supported by specific training network. So you have the school needs to be on the training vendor list, and there is a high skill, high growth list of occupations that only our scholarship could be applied towards. But when an individual comes into the office, we'll do an assessment, we'll take a look at all the financial aid availability, and which, if that's something that would be applicable, we can talk to any customer about that.
And what would be a type of occupation that would be in high demand?
Welders, machinists, nursing, engineers, cost estimators, service unit operators. I can keep naming, but that's a few.
Interesting. So maybe you're a person that you're skilled with working on tools, but you've never had formal training being a welder, but you'd like to consider doing it. That there may be a scholarship out there that can help teach you how to become a welder, so you could get that job.
Or there possibly might be other grants available within the local community college. Recently, Lone Star had a grant available that was helping, that it was free to the customer. You come in and there's eligibility requirements, of course, but if eligible, it was a 8-week training and no cost to the customer. So we're looking at all various different types of resources to help someone get back into school.
Outstanding. Now, I know one of the things that I'm really passionate about is helping our veterans transition into the workforce. The service that they do to our nation, for our nation, it's incredible. And as far as I'm concerned, we can't do enough to help our veterans. And you had mentioned to me that there's some kind of job fair coming up. I was wondering if you could elaborate on that for us. Yes,
for the last several years, there is a statewide job fair. It's called the Red, White, and You. This year, it will be held on November 10th at the Minute Maid Park, which is at Minute Maid Park every year. Just to give you an idea, last year we had 158 employers 22 veteran service providers there, and we had over 2,700 customers that attended. We had 75 employers that conducted on-site interviews, and we actually had several on-site hires. So basically, Workforce Solutions connects Texas veterans and their spouses with employers at this event. So we all know that, our veterans are highly skilled because of their service in the military. And so we do what we can to try to help them use some of those transferable skills and find employment in here in civilian employment, basically.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Well, Hilda, I can't thank you enough for being our first guest on Your Career. Just absolutely fantastic information. And that brings us to the end of our first program. And first of all, I'd like to thank you, our listeners, so much for listening. Next week, make sure you turn in because this is going to be a really motivational program. We're going to talk about building confidence. So whether you're trying to land a new job or make more money on an existing one, the key is to believe in yourself and to maintain a winning attitude. If you have questions, reach out to us on Facebook. You can learn more about our program by visiting irlonestar.com/yourcareer. That's irlonestar.com/yourcareer. With that being said, thank you so much for listening to Your Career and have a successful day.
Thanks for checking out this production of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. For more information on this show and other shows on Lone Star Community Radio, check us out online at irlonestar.com. If you're interested in sponsoring a program on Lone Star Community Radio and reaching the local audience of Montgomery County on FM, internet, TV, media, please call 936-647-5747 or contact us online at irlonestar.com. This recording is a Lone Star Community Radio production produced by the show host and Dick Schissler of Lone Star Community Radio. Interested in volunteering as a music DJ or starting your own talk show? Contact Dick Schissler at dick@irlonestar.com or by phone at 936-647-5747.